Hey guys, welcome to today's webinar. Today we're going to talk about how you can use actually ChatGPT if you're a software developer trying to develop code and you are currently needing a team of people. But uh, Harshit, who's my partner in WebDoom since 2014, we've been doing a lot of things together. Not many of you guys see him because he's mostly in the background. I'm the one that is facing all the time, but he's, the guy at the back doing all kinds of amazing, magical stuff. So मैंने हर्षित से बात किया. I said, today let's do a webinar and let's tell people how you're using ChatGPT as a software developer and how, as a software developer, you can do a lot of things to totally do 10x or maybe more than what you currently do. And is it hype? Is it true? आप टेस्ट करके देख लो. Just do a talk on what your experience is, and that's what today's session is all about. And then fundamentally Harshit is going to share with us his own experience in the last few months, weeks that he's been doing this stuff, and then we can open up for questions after this. And those of you that are watching the recording later because you couldn't attend, you can always text in the questions in the comments below. I'll also leave my number. You can WhatsApp me and we can specifically reply to your question. So let's just dive into this right now. Harshit, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
So Harshit is been a software developer for over a decade now. And I told him, I said, Harshit, we need some team because he's short on bandwidth. तो यार, इसको बुला लेते, इससे करवाते काम, उससे करवाते काम. But managing people has always been a challenge because human beings are unpredictable, right? And Harshit and anybody, it's hard to deal with unpredictable people. So how do we get more predictability into this thing? And I said, यार, अच्छा ठीक है, ये chat GPT आगे जा रहा है, करते जा रहा है. Why don't you use chat GPT to write the software only? Why do you need a
Mm.
team of people? So he dabbled into it and he said, Rishi, shit is damn good, yeah. It's actually better because it writes code better and the way I would have liked it. So I said, चलो इसके ऊपर एक चर्चा करेंगे, बातें करेंगे. So he's going to now explain to you what his various experiences are. So Ashit, tell us a little bit about your experience in the last. How long you've been doing this now, using ChatGPT to develop software? Has it been a week or two?
Yeah, I think 3-4 weeks approximately. Yeah.
So you had a project which I told you try using ChatGPT, and
Yeah.
it writes the code for you. And tell us how much of the code does it actually write for you, and how much you have to develop.
So I would have to approach this slightly differently. So let's
Okay.
start with the how what I was doing earlier. You
Yes.
know, how how ChatGPT compared with that, and how we reached this point.
Correct.
That flow journey will help
Yes.
us to understand well why we are here as of now.
Correct. Correct.
Right. So I think initially when the Google was new as such, that we used to do everything based on the books available. Let's say there is a books regarding PHP, HTML, CSS. So every information was written in the book itself, and then you read the book and you write the code accordingly.
Correct.
Right. So this information, and then it became available on the internet. So there is now forums, there are knowledge bases online, and you just do your Google search and then figure out information. Then became YouTube became available. There are videos that can help you understand how to write code, and then that's how the internet kind of right now as of now works. So in case if I want to do certain things, so then I do Google search that how to do this XYZ. Then I see few information, few forums, few articles, and read them, and then understand my what I need to do. So that was the Google part of it. Now let's say in case if I want some very specific thing, now I don't want to read the whole FAQ of the software document because it's huge. The huge documentation, then you have to read through everything. So might as well just do a Google search. It's a faster way to get the information. So I was doing some Google search on some problem that I was facing, but there are multiple results that you get. There are 10 pages,
Correct.
across and 10 results each pages.
Right.
So you go through them. Let's go to the first one. Oh, this is not what I want. Let's go to the second. No, that's not what I want. Third, fourth, and maybe fifth is the one that you want.
Right.
So in here, I invested, let's say, approximately like 15 minutes of my time in 15, 20 minutes of time in Googling search.
Correct.
So then I just tried that. Okay, let's just, because um, ChatGPT was there. So I thought, let me try using ChatGPT instead of doing a Google search. Now, the exact same information I was able to get in less than 3 minutes, approximately. So I was saving the time already 5x, 6x approximately. And that was a huge what I can say impressive leap for me because you can save your time now,
Correct. Correct. Correct.
right? So that's how I differentiate between a Google and ChatGPT. Of course, you need to write the very specific questions. I will show you guys some examples of what how you can be a bit more specific. Just show you actually right away. Just sharing my screen.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I was facing some problem with a tool called Selenium. It's basically a testing tool, right?
Okay.
And this is what I asked the question. I'm trying to run a Selenium ID script from a command line or server with the Chrome driver installed. I'm facing so and so error. And then ChatGPT responds with specific possible solutions to it. Now,
Right.
I did not give context to ChatGPT on what language I'm writing the code in.
Ah.
So it just thought that I might be writing it in Python. So it just gives me example of Python.
Okay. Okay. Then.
So so then I write a new script where um I just said that that this is a dot side script. Now usually dot side scripts are not written in Python, it directly in a Selenium language directly.
Okay. Okay.
So then it gives me steps to install the required driver.
Acha.
And then the third part of it, now I gave the full context of it that I'm trying to run dot site script generated from Selenium ID on a Linux Ubuntu server. I'm running the script from command line with so and so command, but I'm still facing so and so issue.
Fantastic.
Now this has the full context of what problem I'm facing.
Correct.
This is the right information that I got.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So it took you some time to write the question better, or they call it prompt engineering now. That's the big
Right.
word that's going around. So basically, it's you and you can even edit your existing prompt and keep fixing it and then see
Yes.
results. Then you don't like this result. Oh fuck, I didn't tell him this. So okay, again you go edit it and then you tell him something else. So as you edit your prompt, you're just making it better and better and better and get better and better results.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
and that's how they say, I guess, you ask the question, you'll get the right answer. But most of the times we're asking the wrong question or a incomplete
Exactly.
question. We're not,
Incomplete question. That is true.
so this
Similarly,
is
when you do Google search, you may not write the right information, so you will not never get the right results. But now
correct.
because of ChatGPT, it gives you faster response. You don't have to go through all the articles. It just gathers all the data for you and give all the information. So it kind of like a someone that you can directly ask question to. You cannot ask Google. Let's say you have some problem and you are not getting the solution. You cannot say that no, I'm not facing this. I'm facing that. You can say that as a response to ChatGPT to get the right information, which you cannot do on Google search, but you can do on ChatGPT. It kind of
Yeah,
works as an assistant that has access to all the information, but you have to give right command to your assistant to get the right information.
right. Correct. And in terms of, let's say, you asking, you still need to be a software developer to use ChatGPT to develop software. Am I right?
Correct. Correct. That's true.
It hasn't reached the level of maturity where you can talk to it in like layman terms like me and then get software written. You won't know what to do, right? We haven't
Right.
yet got there as yet.
Yeah.
But do you see that that is a possibility, something that even jokers like me can actually write code because it's
Of
so
course. Of course.
fast?
I
Yeah,
mean, we never thought that AI will reach this level that we can, use it as an assistant for us. But it's reached already. So, I mean, time will, of course, will tell us that someday we'll
right.
definitely reach that level. But I'll just give you an example of, the statement that you made.
Yeah,
Uh, so there was this was one of the project that we had where I thought of using ChatGPT, and we need to create some sort of a design of machine, and then has some if it's running, then have show some green. If it stop, then you should show some red borders to it.
mm,
Similarly, other
mm,
stuff. So then I explained what I want, and it gives me all the code that I want.
correct.
Right now, in this case, I explained to them that can you use inner HTML function instead of creating ID for specific elements.
So
Now,
that means
me as a
automatically,
developer,
yeah,
yeah,
this only you know that there is something called inner HTML versus add HTML. I wouldn't even know what the hell that is, but
correct.
okay,
Because now if you see this, the bottom code is a little shorter than the code above,
okay,
and this is a more optimized code. So ChatGPT doesn't know that this is the optimized code. I have to give the right command to give me the optimized code.
correct. But there are time to bach kya because he just in
मेरा
a
time
matter
बच
of
गया, but I don't
minutes,
have to write all this.
I don't have to write all this.
Yeah, I just have to say that do it this way, do it that way,
Yeah. Acha,
and then
you
it
were
gives all the information.
right. Fantastic. You were also telling me that
Mm,
this code which you have
mm.
created, the way it writes it is better than other programmers. Tell me more about that.
Okay, yeah, that's a good thought. So now what happens is because HTML and pretty much any majority of the languages you can say they are not um, grammatically you don't have to be correct. You
Okay.
can choose any variables that you want. If
Right.
I say machine box, I can just say Mac box and I
Right.
use the same code. So
Right.
the prob so the problem is, developers do usually use something that only they understand, not the others.
Correct. So therefore, it becomes a challenge for one coder to understand another coder's software. इसने लिखा
Exactly.
क्या? What is he talking about? वो problem हो जाता है. But
Right.
now यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है?
Now, because this is written by ChatGPT, it just says that machine box. So it's a machine का जो box है उसका design है. It's very clear to understand with this one single word that it is the design and code related to machine box.
So
Similarly,
that
if I say status running, it just
ah
says status which is running. Now,
okay.
if I give this project to, let's say, some other developer, it's
हाँ,
possible that the person has just written running. Now,
अच्छा
what is running?
अच्छा तो यहाँ पे कमेंट्स की भी जरूरत नहीं है गुड प्रोग्रामर लाइक यू विल इमीडिएटली अंडरस्टैंड कि क्या बोल रहा है वो
Correct, exactly.
I see. Interesting. So the whole idea of creating comments which software programmers don't create and then having variables that are self-explanatory, wo so ChatGPT is actually superior. It's a superior software programming assistant. It is basically a damn good software assistant who will write the code for you better than an existing human being software developer.
Right.
Wow. Interesting. Okay, great. Anything else you found out of the way ChatGPT writes code? How
hmm
it's better than having, say, another guy helping you? This is better in what other way that you thought?
Uh, there's just one more thing that I did the difference between the 3.5, which is the free version of ChatGPT, and the
Yes.
4. I just want to kind of
Ah,
emphasize on what is the difference, why they are charging for something that is
right.
coming in
Yes,
4
yes,
only.
yes, yes. Yes, exactly. Why?
So now this is uh, okay. So this was something that was created in the free version of ChatGPT. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
What I want is write a plugin that sends the message via double tick when a new invoice is generated.
ठीक है.
That was my basic command to
Basic.
ChatGPT, and it gives me all the steps. Do this and create a new directory. Call it double tick notifier. create the script. So it gives me a very basic, structure of your code,
Yeah,
what you need,
yeah,
and it gives me, okay, you need this code to actually connect to your invoice generation. So the when an
correct.
invoice generated, message is sent.
Right,
Now this is what the free version gave to me,
right.
right? Now I asked the exact same question in ChatGPT 4,
Yeah,
and then it gives me way better code.
okay,
It gives me an ability to add the API keys, so
okay.
I can directly connect my double tick to the software,
Acha.
and gives me the whole code of actually sending the messages via double tick, which
Mm,
was not provided in the 3.5 version.
wow. Wow, that's pretty awesome, huh? So
Yeah,
it's totally worth the $20 a month because what is $20? Yeah, it's like 1500 rupiah ke liye you're getting such massive enhancement in terms of writing far better software than say
right,
the 3.1 free version, right?
exactly.
Wow.
And now that recently I think ChatGPT has released the ability to connect to the internet and get information.
Ah.
So I can just say, this is the link of double tick documentation. Can you just write an API
Oh.
code for me, and it just generate the code for me?
It did that in this
No,
one?
I have not tried that, but based on the information what ChatGPT
Oh,
is providing us, it
that
will be
because it
available.
just got launched. We didn't
It just got launched. We have
we
not.
planned this
Yeah.
webinar and now this bloody ChatGPT 4 आ गया नया features के साथ. Oh,
Right.
okay, okay, okay. So then, we should have a part two of this session maybe next month because now you
Oh.
can take a month to find out whether this is a true and how
Mm-hmm.
good or bad it was. Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that will be really ultimate यार कि उसको बोले ये देख तू खुद सॉफ्टवेयर पढ़ ले अब FAQ ढूंढ सब कुछ ढूंढ और मेरे को लिख के दे दे. My God. Wow.
Correct.
That will be like super. So therefore, for a
Mm-hmm.
company that is starting up who's in a software development company,
Mm-hmm.
they may not need to hire hundreds of software developers because they'll just hire 3 or 4 developers who have expertise in something, and then they kind of say, "भाई, ChatGPT का account ले लो, $20 अपन तेरे को देता है, तू
Right.
उसको भगा, काम करते जा भाई, उसको like work, make it work like a donkey, and let's just spit out all the code for you."
Right.
This is a new way of structuring small startup companies, and
Mm-hmm.
and
All they need is an experienced person who has a good understanding of how ChatGPT works, and of course have an understanding of the language they want to work on.
right,
These two things are required, of course, because whatever response that you receive from ChatGPT, it needs to actually vet it through a known experienced person, so that the code is it's usually proper, but sometimes it may give you, because if you just share my screen again,
yeah.
now it says that replace this link with an
Oh
actual
wow.
double tick API endpoint. They don't have this information of what is
Correct,
the
correct,
double tick API,
correct, correct. But
which
he's
is
just
why they are saying this.
replace it with the relevant. Oh my God, fantastic, man, superb. So, do you see that
Hmm.
in future that software will get better and better and better because we will more and more people will start using AI software to develop software. So they say that statement of यार software developers का तो कुछ बोल नहीं सकता भरोसा नहीं है. They think their code rocks and इतना bug है. To make them fix 5 bugs and you'll get 10 new bugs. ये these are jokes people crack. But now, with the fact that you have an AI software that only writes good code, do you think that will now improve? Software itself will improve the
Yeah,
quality?
yeah, definitely, it will improve.
Yeah.
Because, but the mentality needs to be changed. The
Of
problem
the
with
human being.
developers is they like to tinker with everything,
Right, right,
and if that changes, then the whole stability of a platform improves.
correct,
If we just focus on a normal WordPress website, people, if there is a request coming from a client saying that मेरे को, let's say you want to change this position to make it from left to right, and that is not possible based on the uh, structure of the website, then they will just make some code changes and make it left to right. Then they don't realize that doing that, they are screwing up something else. Or
correct,
in case if it's in mobile, then we don't know where it's going.
right, right, right.
So that that mindset comes with an experience of thinking long term.
Right,
You
right.
have to think it through before doing something.
Correct, correct. And with ChatGPT, it takes care of that. Is it? Do you
It
feel?
takes care of that because it has all the information at the on their server, so
Ah,
that when you ask for something, it actually gives you correct data, but provided you ask the right question. For
correct.
example, if I want to move the if I want to have a box that is of 100 pixels, but I wanted it to responsive as well,
Yes,
like that. So it
yes.
will say 100 pixel, but then on the phone it will automatically adjust the width accordingly. So
Achha.
you have to ask the right command.
Okay.
Eventually it may reach to a position where that is something that will be built in,
Uh,
but as of now we need to ask the right question to get the right information.
Correct. Now, you've just started on this journey recently, but you've also written a lot of software projects previously in your, last year, this year, previous year. So, would
Right.
you like to, take a look at that old software that you wrote and say, hey, can you make this better? Is that something you'd be curious to try out and see what comes out
Sure, let's do that right now.
right now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do. Which software you trying to write better?
Right. Good here.
Oh, so these are some of your old projects. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just figuring out one of the project which was, I think, this one. So this is something that we created like way back.
Okay.
This is the tool which verifies WhatsApp numbers that we initially
Ah, okay.
created.
Okay, fine.
Right. So
Oh, now you can just drag and drop, huh?
yeah.
Can you rewrite this better? Wow, that's it, huh? Let's see what happens.
See.
Analyzing. Wow. This is awesome, man. The JavaScript you provided seems to be contain self-invoking function and some related to checking for an active element, possibly for a web page and working with a local database. Okay. To provide a better rewrite, I'll focus on improving readability, maintaining functionality, and adhering to best practices. Let's start by refactoring the provided snippet. Oh my goodness. Wow, now he's explaining what he's about to do. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is awesome, man. Ocha. Okay, you would know what this means, so you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
first one to
So
review.
there is a term called as linting.
Okay,
Linting. If I just search, lint. So say linting is a process of using a tool to automatically check the source code for errors.
okay,
So there is in linting there is one more check that is added, which is if you are using the um, right conventional uh, names for function names, variable names,
hmm,
because there is always some sort of an convention. For example, if you say this is called as a function name, so your first word of the function should be small. The second word has to be capital. Second word, first character should be capital. Other words, first character should be capital. That's how you. That's how if someone is looking at your code, check if active.
yeah,
That's how it's readable.
right,
So
right.
these are certain terms
Yeah,
that even ChatGPT is checking for that as well,
wow, very nice.
to introduce clearer function names like check if active,
Okay,
load app
very nice.
for better understanding.
The second one was what? What is the second thing he highlighted? Use
Is
the.
used of const and let.
Acha, what is that now?
So initially there was a how do I explain this? So there are functions, and
Yeah,
inside functions there are blocks. You can say,
okay, okay,
okay, if block, conditional blocks, loops.
right.
Now these blocks have so if you see if I define anything over here inside the block, I will
Yes.
not be able to access that data outside this block, which is
Correct.
after this thing.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So, but if I use var as a variable definition name,
Uh-huh.
it kind of leaks all that data outside the block as well.
So he's suggesting what now?
He suggests to use let and const instances so that once I define this, no one can change it.
Ah.
So this is more of a you can say
More crisp. It's more watertight. It is
yeah, correct. It's more
watertight.
tight. It's like a security thing as well.
Wow.
It's the best practices you want to code it in JavaScript and similar
And,
languages.
and human beings may tend to forget to do this, even though पढ़ा था लिखा था लेकिन मैंने practice नहीं किया. Now
Right.
this
So
guy will just
correct.
do it. Wow.
So
Wow.
even if I use var over here,
Yes.
you
He
know,
will
I
fix
it
it.
will convert it, but
Ah.
there are other tools that kind of do it by default.
Acha, acha, acha. But in
Yeah,
this case, he did it for you because this is an
correct.
old software which you had written. Now he's correcting it. Now,
Right.
what is the third thing he highlighted? What is the third point? Add,
Simplified logic.
which means streamline the logic for checking the active link and initializing the data. What is that?
So what happens is sometimes you
Overcomplicate.
over optimize code.
Acha, 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 acha.
Sometimes you over optimize. You have to make that right decision of something. If you over optimize it, it will be difficult for the person who is coming next to understand it.
Acha.
So instead of over optimizing it, focus on something which is more readable code.
Acha, acha, acha. So
Because
what?
after you, there is someone else is coming to work on the
Maintain
on your
your
project, maintain your project.
fantastic. This is yeah, just fantastic. And what is the so you in your thoughts, it is good to go with simplified logic, or do you feel
Yes, yes, definitely. Yes, of course it
so,
is.
so आपको भी सीखने को मिल रहा है कि shit I should have written it better.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what is the
Yep,
fourth one?
because developers are programmed in such a way, they tend to forget all this.
Right.
And which is why linting is something that when you save, it automatically checks everything and
हाँ,
it gives you prompts.
that you ने ये सब खराब कर दिया साले ठीक.
हाँ,
अच्छा अच्छा.
correct.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, then added comments. What is the last one?
Just
Insert.
insert comments to make the code easier. For example, function to check if WhatsApp download link is active.
Wow, he wrote that for you. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, initialize and oh, सही है यार. So, would you be happy to actually take this code and eventually integrate it on your thing?
Yeah.
I think you should do that. And in our next session, like a follow-up series to this program that we're doing once a month or something,
Mhm.
you actually do this and see if the code works. But first, it should work, and two, it should work better, right? So it would be very nice to know what happens once you start using this. Good. I
Sure.
think I'm done with my questions. Did you want to share anything before I open it up the questions? Because I can see some questions are coming in the comments. Anything else you wanted to talk about in your last 2-3 weeks journey, which you've been experimenting this ChatGPT use for coding?
So there is just one small, part, one small question that um, I had in my mind, and actually we also spoke about that in our campaign data, where will this eat your job?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
So I just want to kind of respond to that. So I feel that ChatGPT is someone where it can help you do things faster, but it will definitely not do everything for you on itself.
I like your choice of words. You said ChatGPT is someone. You almost treated it like a human being, yeah.
Yeah, it almost kind of looks like a human being, because it does everything that maybe a junior developer kind of does, with
Yeah,
of course not so error prone.
yeah. Wow, wow. So okay. So that is if you use ChatGPT, uh
So
it won't replace you completely, at least
it
not.
it won't replace. So you have to upgrade yourself and make it more creative minded rather than focused on just मेरे को बोलो क्या करना है and I'll just do it.
Hmm.
You have to change your thought process and make it so that you tell your superior or what needs to be done correctly rather than your superior telling kya karna.
But then I have
That's
a question for you. This is a very, very important point because, I mean, you got a decades of software development experience. मतलब तू रगड़
hmm,
रगड़ के तू अभी आया यहाँ पे तू पहुंचा हुआ because you made all those blunders, correct? You
right.
yourself and realize, oh shit, I didn't write such a good code. I should write better code. Of course, you as a person is somebody that wants to improve because that's how you're programmed to think or what, and you're worried about the fact that you see most people are not interested in improving only. Maybe because they got into software development and they actually wanted to do something else.
That's
That's
very
the
true. I mean, I in my graduation days, I can see that almost like 80 to 90% are there just because they are like, computers, yeah, jobs are safe. We are safe throughout the, our lifetime. They are not there because they want to be.
correct.
They are there because they have to be. They are in that mindset.
And you got into software development way before college. I mean, you've been
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
on your dad's computer and ye kya hai? You were genuinely curious about what the hell is this software, and
right.
it caught your interest. So I think two things I'm taking away from what you just said is A, do software development because you want to. And
Very
if
true.
you want to use ChatGPT to learn and use it to write better software and go through the process of writing better software. Now, because you went through all the crap that you went through to become
Hmm.
where you are, which is now you can understand, shit, this is very good because agar nahi karega, to problem ho jayega. So there is no shortcut to, you still have to fail and make mistakes and then become better. I mean, that cycle continues basically.
Right.
Awesome. Good chat, good conversation. Let's open it up for questions now. Okay, here we have Amit's asking a lot of questions here. Let's go with the first one, which is I worked on C and C++ during my engineering 22 years ago. How is C and C++ coding language relevant now? Wonderful question. Fantastically crafted question. Yes, Harshit, how would you respond to that?
So it is still relevant. I mean, they are still teaching C and C++ in colleges as of now as well. There is a slightly upgraded version of C, which is Go, which is I think developed by Google. And because C and C++ are kind of languages that directly interact with your hardware, it's a very base language that it will be there for a long term. Now, this all this PHP, HTML that we see, they are eventually converted to machine code and then kind of run on the hardware. C is directly something that connects to the hardware and then run the code. So that top layer is something that is always changing, which is the HTML, PHP. But C lies beneath that,
Yeah.
C and C++.
So it'll never go
This
out of fashion because
I
I,
mean, people are still there because there is, banks are someone that use their software for ages, and they are still stuck on C, Java, because their codes are written in that back in like 15, 20 years.
okay.
And because there is a security, not security, but kind of like
Legacy.
legacy hai, and then changing that will incur a huge cost for them. So they
Correct.
might as well just maintain that same code and keep it running as long as they can. And
Interesting.
then that's why I think that CNC is not going anywhere. But of course, I mean, people right now are only so if someone is coming out of college now and saying that I am doing C and C++, they may not get the job. But if someone is saying that I have a 10 years of experience in C++, they will get the instantly a job.
Right.
Experienced people are required in that language, not the newcomers.
Nice. Interesting. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. His second question is who is an owner slash founder of chatopenai.com? Is it an open source platform? So that's a good question. So it's they started it off as an open source platform, but now it's not completely open source. It is, earlier there was this guy Elon Musk that funded them with money, and then after that, the Sam Altman, who is the CEO of, he was the founder of that software. He said that, look, I need more money to buy more hardware so that I can do all this amazing stuff. So kind of Elon Musk exited and Microsoft stepped in and they gave him the funding he needed. And then it took off and became what it is today. So it is not totally open. It is open to some extent, but not totally open. So that's kind of the answer. But I'm sure if you Google it or YouTube it, you'll get better answers. But this is मेरा जो समझ है, इसमें मेरे को ये समझ में आ रहा
So whenever we say chat GPT, it means we have to use a website which is chat.openai.com.
है. Right.
And there we have to log in through our account, which
Yes.
is like, for example, in my case, I log in through my Gmail account.
Yes.
And then we can use this website, whatever we want, like to execute, like writing some content, or like it said, Arshit said, is writing a codes. I mean, codes not about writing; it's about more modifying it in
Yeah.
a better way, right?
Yeah.
So that is the, I mean, a website on which we have to log in and use this tool.
Correct. Correct. Exactly. It's a web-based, browser-based. It's not a mobile app. Right. A lot
Okay.
of people look at it's an app. It's not an app. It's a website. You go there, log in, just like you Google. You Google
Okay.
go to the website and Google stuff, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the app, of course, Google is an application at the back end. It's a web application, but it's a search engine actually. It's too big to give it a word like web app. But yes, it is an app. Even this ChatGPT software, you are seeing the front end on a website, but at the back end is a whole bunch of hardware, which is being able to deliver this shit in matter of seconds. It's got access to all this information and instantly resolving it and giving it to you. The CPU computational power is phenomenal. So we just see the simple interface in front, but at the back end, it looks very different. Physically, if you think of what is OpenAI, ChatGPT platform, mind-boggling. I'm sure there'll be a video out there that shows you what's happening at the back end. But yes, the software was originally open source, but then it kind of became semi-open source, and I think that's where it is right now.
Do they have a paid version also there?
Yeah, so we are using the paid version. We're just paying some $20 a month. This is a 1500 रुपए महीने का जो है. But I am now with Harshit. We were going to use other software developers to write software. We'll have to pay them for their time. Now we are using that software, and Harshit is saying it's actually better. वो code बढ़िया लिख रहा है. So now I said, boss, you can't do all of this alone. तेरे पास projects already है. There's so many things you have to do. So he single-handedly, with the use of ChatGPT, is making it do a whole bunch of work. So his productivity efficiency बढ़ रहा है उसका. He is still a one-man show, but one-man show with him behind his ChatGPT army. He's got the army of ChatGPT to write software like this and better than another software developer would write it. And he's always been a solo guy. He gets very easily irritated with people because of their incompetence. So Harshit के लिए ये तो बहुत ही बढ़िया है. It's like for him it is like damn good, I mean, Harshit, I'm just, you know me now. I'm just joking, man.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's true. You do get frustrated with people, but it's okay. Thanks to ChatGPT, you can get the. I mean, I don't need human beings here. Gaya baad mein.
I have a competent assistant now.
Yeah, and you'll feel good about yourself and your life and everything. Okay, great. We have another question coming up from Amit, which says, when ChatGPT writes some article or paragraph, then does it come under plagiarism? So, plagiarism का जो definition ये है, it is copied from somewhere. So, there are plagiarism checkers, which you can, supposing ChatGPT whips out some content, you can take that content and go to the plagiarism checker to say, is this plagiarized? And it will tell you this is 80% plagiarized or 60% plagiarized or 100% plagiarized or 1%, 0% plagiarized. So you can check if something is plagiarized or not online. Now, if it is showing up as plagiarized, then you can even instruct it with a prompt that says, please make sure that this content is not plagiarized. Rewrite it so that it is not plagiarized. And it will come. And now, see, what is information at the end of the day, right? Information is information. I can say the same thing in 5 different ways, but it's still information. So Google's search algorithms used to rank content up or down based on plagiarized content. So if your content was plagiarized, he'll say उसका content को कम value दे दो, मतलब ranking मत दे दो उसको. He loses points in play. So plagiarism comes in to play only if you want your website to rank very high on Google. Otherwise, it really doesn't matter. I mean, does anybody give a damn where they got the information from? You know, fine, it won't come up on the search results, so therefore you get less content. So it is, it is, you're not broken the law by plagiarizing content, but you're going to rank less according to Google's point of view. So if you want to rank high on Google, then it is in your interest not to plagiarize your content. So therefore, use the plagiarism checker and tell ChatGPT to rewrite it so that it is not plagiarized. And so, yeah, that's the kind of
Right. So
approach.
right in the ChatGPT also, it should not be plagiarized.
Yes, tell ChatGPT to make sure it is more human-like and not plagiarized, and it will actually rewrite the content for you. Now you check it and see. There are some plugins available which will tell you, give you the prompt to ensure the content is not plagiarized. So you don't even need to know how to exactly craft the prompt also. The prompt will do it for you. I've done some previous ChatGPT webinars in which I've talked about it, and you can take a look at that.
So now there is a risk is lying with reporters also. Those are writing their reportings to various newspapers, magazines, publishing their reporters and also article writers.
Yes. What is the problem you said? Sorry, that
They can use the ChatGPT to write the various news or articles in a magazines or a newspaper.
yeah. So in the sense, I think the reporter still has to go and get the information, right?
That is the one
He has
part.
to go get what is the data, इसने क्या बोला, Modi ने क्या बोला, इसने क्या बोला, and then he can say, okay, this is the information, write it in a 500 word article or something like that. Okay, because editor ने बोला 500 word से ज्यादा नहीं चाहिए मेरे को. Now, just like Harshit's efficiency has gone up as a software programmer, so has the reporter's efficiency gone up in life. So इसमें कोई बुरी बात नहीं है. I don't see anything wrong. It's like, is there any problem in using the washing machine? No, no. वो कर रहे ना काम किसी और को दे दिया. अगर मशीन को काम दिलवाया काम करने के लिए तो भाई तो फ्री हो गया. वो ऐसा ऐसा धोबी का काम करने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ा. कब आपने को कपड़े साफ चाहिए. हाँ, रिपोर्टर शुड नॉट गिव फॉल्स न्यूज. यस, दैट इज टू बी मेंटेन. अगर रिपोर्टर ने फॉल्स न्यूज दिया, now I won't blame ChatGPT or any AI software for that unless he created a prompt to say अभी उसमें मसाला लगा और झूठ बोल. अभी ऐसा मत कर भाई, रिपोर्टर है तू. So I don't think anybody and everybody. I'm a marketing guy. I do sales. I use it to create sales proposals, contracts, all marketing communication, ad campaign creation. सब मैं उसको बोलता हूँ कि यार ये बेस है, इसको थोड़ा बड़ा चढ़ा के सही बना के दे दो. And he does it for me. And I'm like, thank you very much. और वो भी फटाफट करके दे दी. I don't have to wait for a content writer to come back to me in 24 hours. 5 सेकंड के अंदर हो गया काम. I think it's great. I have no problem. The world is changing. You can either.
And I think because of ChatGPT, there are tons of areas where which are at risk. Like someone who is depending on a database, you can say, like lawyers, doctors, consultants, basically, these are relying on an existing data.
Yeah.
Like lawyers will rely on the laws, kya hai, and based on that, they can give you recommendations. Similarly, doctors. This is something that can be replaced with ChatGPT because ChatGPT has also access of data.
Yeah, right.
So instead of asking a lawyer, you can ask ChatGPT and get the data and information. Yeah. Similarly for doctor. So those types of areas I think might be at risk if there's a huge growth of AI in this certain areas.
Yeah. And the risk could be both ways because when does an use a software to determine whether it knows better than the doctor, and when is it that the doctor knows better than the software because the doctor has something called experience and wisdom. There's a thin line between you don't know which one is right and we are totally incompetent. Yeah, मुझे क्या पता.
I think surgeon is someone who still be there. But
machines are अभी. The surgery, many times now, if you look up the research, surgery is now being done by machines.
In a hybrid model. It's in a hybrid. They are using
right now
some extent.
Right now it is hybrid. I can see in the next 10-20 years, it will become completely robotic operation.
Robotic.
It will just
Possible.
further as technology evolve. I mean, it is not going to be even surprising to me anymore that the complete surgery will be done with the robot and having amazing bedside manner. Both combined together. No matter how much, अरे यार ऐसा मत कर यार. No problems. I'm very sorry for not. So doctors are eventually, everybody's at threat. I mean, you and me also. Everybody's jobs are at threat in the future. And we have Dr. Girish Taude also here listening to this.
Cricket.
I,
Yeah, so it's my domain now. I should
I think, I think
so,
everybody, I think
yeah,
everybody's
we
job.
use those. This,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so the robots are there. So they are for finer things, but the decision making has to be done by the doctors. Means the robot will see that you don't cut unnecessary or important structures. So, but the basic guide, you have to do that has to be given to the robot. And
Correct,
so
correct.
it is helping us definitely. Means it's
Yes,
preventing
yes,
complications.
yes.
Decisions have to be taken.
Yeah, I'll take this conversation a little further, just so that it's something that I think I've seen happening in my head, and I'm just putting it out there for people to understand. I think when the washing machine came and put the buy out of a job, the humane angle to do was like, नहीं नहीं ठीक है, अच्छा तू कपड़ा धोना बंद किया, चलो ठीक है इसमें तू काम कर ले या कुछ और काम देता हूँ, कम से कम तू मशीन चला के उसको टांग के रख दे कपड़ा. Mean the humane aspect of not reducing her salary or not firing her ass because you got the washing machine now has basically uh impacting now everybody because of AI software and robotics. Okay, it's a matter of time. Driverless cars will come and replace drivers. तो पूरा ड्राइवर का इंडस्ट्री गया है भाड़ में. They have to now find some and they redevelop their skills. It will eventually get to the doctor, lawyer, every level. Everybody will come and they will be like, should actually the bloody machine takes a better decision than us. Now it takes many years for a doctor to become a doctor and a good doctor. It doesn't happen with a punch of a button. With the software world and the robotics world is that once you've developed it and they manage to achieve a certain milestone, not to where the best doctor is right now, but even if it is 25% of where the doctor is, to replicate 25% of this expertise is instantaneous. It doesn't cost and doesn't take as much time to develop a doctor. You are now, sir, in your 60s, I think, maybe based on your gray hair, 50s, 60s, to hoga. You have the man
Yeah.
you are in your 20s and the man you are in your 50s and 60s is a very different Girish Attaude. And it took that many years to become who you are and do what you do, and you do very good at it, and that's why you have a great thriving practice. So the point is, eventually there will be a point of time when everybody's job will be replaced, and it will be done by AI and robotics and all of that stuff. And instead of fearing it, go along with the ride along with the flow. And it's a question of the way the economy runs will have to need a change. Basically, our for the donkeys of years, centuries and millennia, we've been only doing to काम कर पैसा कमा और पैसे से तू कुछ भी कर सकता है. This will eventually take a shift. How that shift happens is up to human beings to figure out how do we redirect society. The whole concept of go to school, learn a skill, कॉलेज में जाके ये करो पैसा कमाओ, ये एक शिफ्ट हो जाएगा. बिकॉज इफ द मशीन आर डूइंग इट एनीवे, तो फिर उसको करने दो मशीन को. अभी क्वेश्चन इज सर्वाइवल, द क्वेश्चन इज खाना, रोटी, पानी, शेल्टर. If society will need to have to evolve, just like we have done it right from the hunter gatherer stage when we figured out there is agriculture, we don't have to go anywhere and hunt for food. We can इधर ही उगा सकते हैं गेहूं, चावल, दाल, सब्जी वगैरह. So there was a shift from hunter. In fact, even right now, as we are in this century, in this year and age, 2023, there is still, if you go to Kalahari Desert or the Amazon and Nicobar, not Amazon, Andaman and Nicobar, there are tribal people, hunter-gatherer zone, even today. And they have left them as them, let them be there. The Bushmen in Kalahari and the people in the Andaman. And they are coexisting with a very high tech. Also, there is a village rural So you got all strata of society, all situations of life where it's happening. But we moved from hunter-gatherer to agriculture. Then from agricultural era, we moved into the industrial era for the last 200, 250 years, ever since the development of steam engine and all of that stuff. We moved into that. Then in the last 25, 30 years, we moved into the information age, which is all computers and stuff. With the internet coming, it changed very fast. And now we're getting into the AI era. It's just that it's the exponential growth of and movement in this direction has gone instead of a slow growth path, it is going like, and now it has gone up straight away. So it is going to happen, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that so many changes are happening in one lifetime, which normally would have taken multiple generations to have one small incremental change. It's now happening in अपने ही lifetime में हम लोग already 5 change हो चुका है. I mean, you and I have come on that era where we watched Magic Left on Doordarshan for a limited period of time. Today, there's a problem of too much content out there to watch. मैं क्या देखूं यार, सब subscription बंद कर दे यार. I don't know what to watch any longer. I mean, we have extremes of both sides, and it's going to be fun and it's going to be interesting. And I'm not really worried about it. But sorry, we got deviated and sidetracked. But anyway, we've got one more question coming up. Next one is from Amit again, saying that okay, we've already answered this question, right? Which is, does the ChatGPT tool access come from the website? Yes, that I answered. First one, I want to develop some financial tools, software for financial planning, fundamental research, retirement planning, portfolio management. What do I do? As in, what do you want to do about using ChatGPT to do it? Well, you can always start a conversation. I've never done it. I never thought of it. But you can always start asking similar questions that you just posted here to us. What can you, I would do something like, what can you help me develop some financial tools and software for financial planning? That would be one question I'd ask, and see what it says, and then keep chatting with it to understand where it takes you, right? As Harshit highlighted, the art is now in asking the right question. So your question is great, and thank you for asking it to us. But quite frankly, ChatGPT might be able to give you a better answer than I would. So fundamental research, retirement planning, portfolio management, what to do. So it can, and you can even say, how can ChatGPT help me to do this better, faster, cheaper, whatever. And then look at the replies and see what comes up, and do share with us what you find. I wouldn't know because I don't know anything about financial tools or planning or anything like that. Okay, cool. Yeah. And if you want to write some financial software, do get in touch with us. We are into software development, right? So we would be more than happy to connect with you, understand what it is you want, and see if we can develop a tool at a much lower cost, thanks to ChatGPT, because it will do most of the donkey work. Harshit will be very excited to develop some software for you that you need if you need some financial tools and software. Okay, we have one question from Girish. Dr. Girish Ataude is saying, could you send the link of the initial ChatGPT, the basic how to start using it, putting up in medical health articles? No, I didn't get the question, sir. Can you initial ChatGPT? I didn't understand. What do you mean by that?
See, this is for software development. So I would like to know, right, how to start with the ChatGPT and then use it for we write various articles, suppose such as on sports injuries. So how to use those in particular context? Means suppose
okay.
To use that.
Okay.
Because I haven't started using ChatGPT.
Okay. So the first thing is to get a ChatGPT account. Okay. Let me just share that with you how to do that. Okay. I'm going to open a new window and I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to write here chat GPT. Okay. And there's this website called chat.openai.com. I don't know whether you can see this. Let me increase the font for you. Can you see over here? Chat.openai.com.
Yes, it is visible.
Wait. Girish, your microphone is muted. So I'm going to ask you to unmute your mic. Yeah. Can you see over here? Chat.openai.com.
Unmuted it.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I click on this ChatGPT, right, this website, the first thing is going to ask me login or sign up. Okay. So we're going to click on sign up.
Yeah.
And then when it asks to sign up, you can either sign up with your email address, or I would recommend a kaam karo. If you already have a Gmail ID, use with Google. If you have a Hotmail, Microsoft ID,
Yeah.
use that, or an Apple ID, use an Apple ID. That means you have one less username and password to remember. So log in and authenticate through your Gmail ID. Once you've logged
Okay.
into that, right? Once you logged into that, then you just go to ChatGPT and it'll look like this. Yahan pe at the bottom, it says here, how can I help you today? Here are some suggested prompts, and you just say. Now, what did you say you wanted to do? Let me open up the chat again. You said you'd like to
The medical
health
articles.
article. So I am a doctor. I would like to write some articles on how to stay healthy. Is that fine?
Osteoporosis,
Um,
osteoporosis. Healthy
okay.
bones.
Okay. So how to have healthy
Prevent osteoporosis. Bones.
bones, in brackets,
Osteoporosis. Porosis. Osteoporosis. SIS. Porosis.
osteoporosis. Okay, great. Thanks to autocorrect. Okay. I am a doctor. I would like to write some article on how to create this thing. Can you give me a title name of the article, and he will figure out from the title what to write. The title of the article,
I'll type
or we can even ask him to
it.
suggest. Can you suggest some titles? Okay. Now he's saying, okay, certainly here are some articles, titles, how to maintain healthy bones and prevent osteoporosis. First one is Building Strong Foundations, a guide to healthy bone and osteoporosis prevention. Now I'll copy this title and say, this is, wow, thank you. This is great. Can you write a short article for me on this one? Okay. And he says, certainly, here is a short article on building foundation. Now he writes here, our bones are the structural framework that supports our bodies and allows us to move freely, keeping them strongly, blah, blah, blah. So then he's saying adequate calcium, vitamin D, incorporate weight-bearing exercises, strength training, balanced diet, limit exercise, excessive alcohol and caffeine, quit smoking, regular checkup, blah, blah, blah. And in conclusion, maintaining this requires this, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, you can copy this, right? And then you can edit it and rewrite it.
I'm not seeing those. That is not visualized.
Yeah. Okay. Let me try and.
Here on my screen.
Yeah. You need a faster internet connection. Maybe that's something worth investing in right now. I think you have to have a much faster internet. It will be a very good idea to invest in a fast internet, fast computer. Then you can use ChatGPT to do a lot of stuff. For example, here is what I wrote with. Hopefully you can read this. Can you read this? Is this easy to read for you?
Yeah.
So this is a pretty long article. In fact, let me do one thing. Let me just share this article with you. Can you see this little thing here? I'm going to click on this and I'm going to share this with you. Copy link. And I'm going to go to chat and I'm going to paste it here. Now you guys can all read this and then further develop from that. I've sent you in the chat. In fact, I'm also going to send it to you on WhatsApp because I have your number. So one moment, please.
Yeah, sure.
Here's ChatGPT. Where is you? You are here. Girish Ataude. There we go. So this is the link to, I've sent you on WhatsApp. You open your ChatGPT account, open this link. It shows you how I asked the question. It shows you the answer. Then you ask a follow-up question. It wrote a follow-up answer. And I can make it do all 10 articles for me. And then you can go and correct it. I would suggest go look at it and see if it is good. Right?
Okay.
So now, at least the donkey work of writing all the articles is done for you in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Right?
And as Rishit said,
And sorry, what was your question?
you keep on modifying the questions.
Yes, correct. Exactly. You have to keep
As
putting in
Rishit
the
said,
question and
you keep
making
on
the
modifying
question
the
correct.
questions.
Yes. You can even do that. You can even modify the question. Let me show you how to do that. Okay. So for example, let us minimize this here. So let us say I want to modify this question, right? I
Yeah.
can go to this. Can you see this little edit icon? This little pencil
Yeah.
icon.
Yes.
So there I go there and then I say, and add a note at the bottom saying written by Dr. Girish Attaude,
No.
right? And then you say save and submit. And now he's going to rewrite this article and he's going to put somewhere at the end of it. I mean, you can keep prompting it to say whatever you want it to say, right? Written by Dr.
Right.
Right? So
It can be made in the local languages also.
sorry, come again.
You can change it to the local language, Hindi, Marathi,
Yes.
with ChatGPT.
Yes. You can. In fact, it is so damn good that people write to me in different languages in English script as well as Marathi script. I said, this is great. Now, can you write this in Hindi? And you say yes. Now he'll write it in Hindi. ये पूरा चीज है लेकिन आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा मुझे हिंदी नहीं पता है so you have to check it out
Yeah.
and then after this you can say now rewrite this in Marathi, now rewrite this in Gujarati, now rewrite this in Tamil, rewrite this in all languages and he'll just write it for you the exact same article you translated, but you need to know whether it is translated it properly or not. I say
So
fantastic.
that we can edit.
Fantastic. Now rewrite this in Marathi. Okay. And now he's doing it in Marathi.
Yeah, great.
Right. So sky is, not the limit.
It's not the limit.
You can keep going till your imagination is where the limit is. And
Yeah,
that is what
imagination.
हाँ आपका imagination अगर limited है तो आपका result limited मिलेगा. That's why Harshit is saying again and again कि उसको question कैसे पूछना है is the trick. You want to make AI deliver amazing stuff to you, get better at asking the question, the right question. Make a better question to get the better answer.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
I have that link.
Yes. I have sent you that link. I'll send you the latest one also just now, which will have the Marathi and Hindi also. You can take. But the point is, you got the essence of how to. You have power in your fingertips. Now you have to just use it. Amit is in deep thought. I is moving up means his imagination is going wild now.
It's a really a wonderful and really helping us to write lots of things, especially our website development.
Yeah.
That's a really wonderful actually. That's why I was look at very, I mean, focus on what you're typing and getting the response. Yeah.
Correct. Fantastic. Awesome. This is great. We have one more participant that joined us. Hemant, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
You're listening.
I'm listening.
See if it can help you with farming, man. Hemant?
I was just wondering.
Yes.
I was just wondering
Yeah.
how actually this is more of a software and a this thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure with all what you all were talking,
Right.
it will come to artificial intelligence of, a holistic approach like weather.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, there was a storm and I
Yeah.
checked all the possible websites and
Yeah.
it said no rain. And it was raining cats and dogs. So whether it was climate or weather or something, and farmers get killed because of this unreliable situation. So I think it's not only the crop and the planning and the sheets and other things, but a very holistic thing from every small thing. I mean, I'm learning Of course, before I met you some months back before for I asked my Taiwanese friend who's a software developer. He said, "Now you have a personal assistant. Just ask anything, but ask it correctly."
Yeah.
There
Correct.
we are. Here we are. Thank you for everything. Yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining, man.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, and you guys were talking about health now. I was
Yeah.
with a friend of mine recently. He's working with tribals.
Hmm.
Like I think it's called mammography or something, where you do breast for breast cancer, you do
Ah,
a checkup, and it's
yeah.
very painful. He
Oh,
says we have a camera
yeah.
because it's got all the AI intelligence software.
Yeah.
All you need to do take a picture from front and from the sides.
Yeah.
Within 1 minute, your job is done.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was telling me so many things they are doing for eye checkups. For example,
Yeah.
they can do thousands of eye checkups just with a camera, and it's got a AI intelligence. I had a 16-year-old kid the other day who's got a chance to go to any university in the world. He's from Bombay. His parents are eye doctors, and he's getting funding. But he decided not to take up this offer, and
That's
he is studying on himself
wow.
how he can use AI and use a phone to do anything and everything possible with like he said right now I'm working with something like a X-ray. Just through your phone you take a photograph and you'll have an X-ray. This
Wow.
I heard 2 years back, but so all these things are going to come in here. Yeah.
Yeah. Hemant,
Thank you.
thanks so much for sharing. Appreciate it. Amit, thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining, and thank you, Dr. Girish, for joining us. I mean, it's great to see that even that you guys have, I mean, at least where Dr. Girish and Hemant are concerned, no matter how old you guys get, you're still curious and come back to learn more, which is awesome. And I think that's the way forward. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll do another one like this, a follow-up session like this, and maybe do a series of these to see Harshit's progress on software development using ChatGPT.
No,
Thanks,
sure.
guys, and we'll see you. Oh, sorry, you had a question, Amit?
Yeah, one question.
Yeah,
Suppose I have some paragraph which is written in a book,
yeah,
and see, there is generally an issue comes when we take some content from a book in our PPT,
yeah,
right? So we want that content to be rewrite by Chat GPT
yeah.
in a better way, or say it should not be exactly the which is written in a book, probably having some copyright issues or sometimes there. I mean,
Yeah.
so that thing can be also done by ChatGPT.
Yeah, I mean, there's no law that says you can't do it because at the end of the day, the same thing has been explained by so many people in so many different
Uh,
ways. That is
but
true.
they
Even authors are talking about 7 ways to or 10 different steps to become better, healthier life. They've written it in their own way. But वही चीज बोल रहा है. But I like this author. वो अच्छा तरह बताया. So each one is appealing to somebody else. So you have taken something, you've learned something. That wisdom knowledge cannot be patented and owned by somebody. Boss, namaste. You know, गांधी ने बहुत अच्छा चीज बोला है, हम सब यूज कर रहे हैं गांधी जी जो बोल के रखा है आपने को, तो बट दैट डजंट मीन ही हैज अ कॉपीराइट ऑन दैट, लाइक नोबडी एल्स कैन टेक व्हाट आई सेड. अरे यार अच्छी चीज बोल रहे हैं, बांटो ना पूरा दुनिया में. I think this is due to the fact that we are always looking पैसा बनाने पैसा बनाने पैसा बनाने, अभी पैसे का टेंशन ही जाएगा अभी. Okay, guys, we'll see you again
okay.
next time. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for joining us. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.